41 out of 25. What is that in percentages? It's obviously not 200%. Did you get like 170 something percent on the project? Welcome in, everyone. Antsy, nice work on first. Phil's here. Welcome in, Phil. We're playing the game. Let's go. 164%. Let's go. That should be like that should be beyond an A. That's amazing. Nice work, Antsy. Bob, if you're still listening, nice work on Not First. I know it's your favorite. And Kiro and Cadence, welcome in as well. Guys, if you're gonna make me purchase a game for your... Get out of here, Bob. Go to work. Thanks for the redeem. Guys, if you're gonna make me buy a game for your 50 chicken reward, I'm just trying so hard not to pronounce it as chicken. If you're gonna make me buy a game, please tell me during the summer sale. I had one class where I finished with a grade of like 312! Bunch of extra credit on labs. Dang, Antsy! I wish I knew you in college. Maybe you could have helped me out. There, you forgot your makeup earlier. Thanks, Bob. How dare you go out in public like that? I did go out in public today without any makeup on. I'm just too tired for makeup. Welcome in, Prince. How's it going? I wish I had super boosted my GPA, but did not fully work like that for some reason. Sounds broken. Sounds like they have like a broken calculation system. They should they should look into that. I once got in trouble with a teacher for answering a multiple choice school evaluation exam in reverse. Entered A as B, wait, A as D, B as C, wait, what? How? Probably because the school evaluation exam measures how much funding the school gets. Oh no. Did you screw your school out of a whole bunch of funding? That's tragic. I don't think funding works like that in New Zealand, that I know of. Yeah, I'm honestly not that sure how the funding works at all in New Zealand for schools. But at high school, I think at the end of the year, the teachers would send around like a survey. I'm not sure if all of them did this, but at least my English teacher did. And she sent around the survey being like, please provide some feedback. What did I do well? What did I not do well? What were your favorite parts? Which parts didn't you like? Any other comments? So on and so forth. Absolutely everyone, every single year would tell her that she went on too many random anecdotal stories about when she was a girl. Every year, the entire class would complain that she told too many stupid grammar stories instead of actually teaching her English. But she even knows about it. She laughs about how she gets this feedback every year, but she just doesn't stop. We've had multiple lessons with her where it was nothing but learning about what her life was like as a child. It was so bad. Mrs. Eagles, if you're listening, please stop. Read the survey. Anyway, Prince would have gotten it right properly if you did it properly. So they knew that you did it deliberately, incorrectly, and then screwed them out of funding. I was part of a special program in an otherwise fairly poor off school. Oh no. Man. That's funny, but also tragic at the same time. Is there a German word for that? Double down is the right choice. Oh, I love double downs. I know we're not talking about that, but KFC double down, I haven't had that in a long time. It's delicious. I'm getting hungry. Let's move on. But yeah, welcome in, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're surviving the heat wave if you're in an area that's, super disgusting right now. It's actually slightly too warm for me right now here. It's 18 degrees Celsius. What the heck? We're meant to be in winter. It's like super rainy, but it's like quite warm. I'm a little bit offended. Climate change, am I right? Hi Ismi, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Alright, today we are playing Stories from Seoul, the Gun Dog, as requested by Phil. I'm not sure what to expect. I know it's a visual novel. I know it's really cool and retro. The art looks amazing. The art looks amazing. Like in the cutscenes that I saw from like the store listing on Steam, it looks so good, man. It looks amazing. I can't wait. But please let me know if like I'm not sure what to expect in terms of like flashing on screen and like noises and stuff like that, because it is done in like a retro style. And I think like retro games get a bit more of that. It's finally a reasonable temperature here. Nice, nice. Climate change is so weird that kiwis turned back to being hats. Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean, like the kiwi fruit pie I had on the top of my head earlier? What is a reasonable temperature for your prince? I'm curious. Also, I might turn up the music. Oh crap, wait, wrong button. Options. I might turn up the music a little bit. How's this? You guys probably can't even hear the difference. I might hold it here. Okay, let's start. 19 degrees Celsius. Oh dang. Yeah, the kiwi hat from your earlier model. Yeah. Oh, September 21st. Planetary calendar 209. Following a raft of oppressive policies and crackdowns from the Earth-based government of the Solar Federation, the joint forces of the Martian territories and the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet rebelled. Jovian means Jupiter, for any of you that are not familiar with the sci-fi lingo. That means it's like the guys at Jupiter. So the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet rebelled. This conflict came to be known as the Solar War. And what a dramatic name. So we have Earth-based government in the Solar Federation, and we have Martian territories, and we have the Jupiter guy, the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet. So we have like 3 horses in here. By Jove! 23 degrees in the middle of the night. Oh, that's disgusting. I am so sorry for you. Please stay hydrated. The war carried on for 3 years, but eventually the combined forces of the Martian territories and Jovian Unified Colony Fleet managed to push the Federation military all the way back to planet Earth. In the final days of the conflict, a pitched battle was fought in lunar orbit that would decide the war's victor. In lunar orbit, we pushed them all the way back to Earth, and now we're just like fighting on their doorstep. I really want to read The Expanse again now, man. What an awesome series. Lunar orbit. Aboard the Jovian carrier JFS Kalik? How do I pronounce this? So, are we on the Jovian? Are we like one of the Jovian guys? You reflexively tighten your grip on your armored frame's twin flight sticks as another wave of vibrations reverberates through the cockpit. The creak of your new flight suit and your quickening breath are the only sounds that you hear above the gentle hum of the frame's subsystems. As you squeeze the controls tighter, the plastic casings creak under the pressure. You try and stay calm, knowing that these gentle vibrations are the remnants of huge shockwaves that are buffeting the of the ship, the carrier that you're stationed on. Each one is a near miss, and an explosion tears through the space around the ship. You try to push the thought from your mind and focus on controlling your breathing, but you have already realized that their frequency means the carrier ship must be approaching the front line. Your squadron will be launching soon, and you'll be engaging in your first real sortie. Your first real flight, in fact. Wait, our first real flight? Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? Have we not done test flights? Wait. You feel your throat tighten. Simulations are as good as the real thing. That's what your trainer tells all of you. But you know that pilots are supposed to have hundreds of hours of live flights and training exercises in real armored frames before they're allowed anywhere near the front lines. Of course, that don't happen. Command had told you that the modern simulators meant cadets could graduate without the need for these exercises. It's terrible. You'd overheard the rumors, though. The Jovian colony fleet had lost a lot of pilots, and still wanting to keep pace with the Martian advance against Earth, had resorted to fielding anyone who could fight. Your whole squadron is just like you. Freshly conscripted from Europa colony, you'd undergone basic training there, but almost all of your flight training had taken place on the cruise's journey from Jovian space. You wonder how the others are feeling right now, whether... Can I access, like, the options from here? Okay, good. I'd like to turn the sound up. I feel like we're not hearing much of that. Maintenance clue. How do I pronounce this? No, Prince! How do I pronounce this? Cow-like? Cow-like? Yeah, that sounds like I'm saying cow-like. Cow-like? Kale-like? Kaliki? I'm just gonna Google it. How do I pronounce this? Is this an actual word? Did they just like make up letters? Kalika. Oh, it's a moon of Jupiter. How do I pronounce this? Pronunciation. I haven't heard of this moon before. Okay, here we go. We have a how to pronounce. I hope this isn't one of those meme, I hope this isn't one of those meme ones. What? Colic? Colic. Okay, wait, let me try a different video. What? Okay. Is this a human? What is this? Kaliki. Is it actually? Kaliki. I don't know which one to believe. It's probably this one, right? Kaliki? Okay, Kaliki. I'm gonna keep this window up in the background because I'll probably forget later. Alright, Kaliki 5. Kaliki 5. This is Fright Deck. We are preparing your squad for takeoff, running last-minute diagnostics on your frame, activating all systems. Now. Anyway, we get some visuals. Alright, looks all good to go. We run a few more checks and then we'll have you spaceport in a few minutes. You're like... Caliculus algebra. Thanks, Bob. Wait, now the music's too loud for me. We'll run a few more checks and then we'll have you spaceborne in a few minutes. You ready to show these Terrans who's boss? Yeah, damn straight, let's go. Yeah, can't wait to get out there. I'm gonna... You stammer, trying your best to convince not the engineer but yourself that you're ready for what's waiting for you. Oh, take a breath there. I already forgot how to pronounce this. Kaliki, right? Kaliki 5. It's not gonna be that bad out. No need to get all riled up there in the hangar. Tell you what, pilot. What's your name? Sounds caliculous. What is your first name, pilot? I guess, I'll just go with Sil. Okay, Sil. And your surname? Friend? And your pronouns? She, her. Sil friend, is that right? Yeah, yes. Okay, ensign friend. First up, take a few deep breaths for me. In and out. Nice and slow. You got that? You draw in one long measured breath and hold it, then release it. Following the engineer's instructions, you repeat this a few more times. After a while, you begin to feel your pulse slow and some of the tension in your body slip away. You're still on the edge, but feel slightly more in control. Alright, here we go. Now listen up, Unsigned. You ain't got a thing to worry about out there. Should have gone by Friend Sil. I know! I don't know which way they were gonna do it. Way I've heard it is all the Terran's best pilots were taken care of between here and Mars. Heck, Martians are the ones who have been leading the charge today, so they're the ones taking all the flack. Propaganda machines selling this as our decisive strike against Earth's last line of defense. But between you and me, it ain't nothing more than a mopping up situation. Buddy of mine in operation said as much in the canteen last night. Besides, you hear a dull ring over the comms and sit bolt upright in your seat, slouching back and exhaling as you realize it's nothing more than the engineer striking the cockpit armor on your frame. Nice fish cam, yeah. I have the fish redeems disabled, at least I'm supposed to, because I haven't cleaned out the water in a while and I really don't want to reach in there. So it's like, there's no point in having the fish cam on if it's not going to be used. This beauty here is a work of art. Terran Frames ain't got nothing on her. She's all tuned up and ready to go. Oh, so the engineer is like right here with us. Okay. Probably spent more time with this one than I have with my own kid. Ha! So don't you worry, that's so depressing. Remember what they taught you in training and leave the rest up to her, and you'll come out of this just fine. Despite your startled reaction a moment ago, the engineer's confidence is infectious, and it's time to rub off on you. You adjust your position in your seat so that you sat up straight, and the soft hum of the frame system now seems more comforting than ominous. Just a mopping up operation, you think. Martians have done all the work, so we're just sitting pretty here in the top of the line frames. Yeah, nothing to worry about. So, Ensign Frem, how are you feeling about things right now? Yeah, I'd say we're feeling good. Yeah, I'm ready to get out there and kick some ass! You declare, channeling your newly tapped well of confidence. That's the spirit, Ensign. Hi, Frap! Welcome in. Now hang on to that and we'll have you out of these hangar doors and kicking Terrans around in no time. Elder, welcome in. I'm so sorry that you're awake. My condolences. Good morning. Wet and loud weather. Yeah, it's pretty wet over here as well, but it's like just kind of like a drizzly wet. I hope, stay safe. Have you got a storm? Or is it just super windy? Left alone with your thoughts, you tune back to the gentle hum of the frame. You watch the seconds tick away in the cockpit clock while you wait for the order to launch. The wait seems to drag on and on. You carry out a few last-minute flight checks, but as you've already completed them, you boarded nothing has changed. I really messed that up. Oh, it's like super rainy. You okay for flooding? Like, it's not gonna flood or anything, is it? Alright, pilots, listen up. I forgot how to pronounce this already. Okay, hang on. Let me bring up that window. Kaliki. This is Kaliki 1. We've been cleared for launch, so we're ready for immediate action. All frames will be taking off in the destination order. Attack formation. Sound off. Kaliki 2 ready. This is gonna be good practice. Kaliki 3 ready. Kaliki 4 here, ready for takeoff. Kaliki 5, confirm your status. Oh, yeah, Kaliki 5, standing by. Wow, we're like the worst one here. Keep it together, Kaliki 5. Kaliki 6? Kaliki 6, ready. Oh, there's only like 6 in the squadron. Alright, Kaliki squadron, move out. Kaliki 1 launching. Okay, they're all just launching. Oh, look at them go! So are we like in a mech? We're not actually in a ship? That's why they've been calling them like frames. Roll call of your squadron as they depart from their ship and accelerate rapidly towards the combat zone sounds almost like a countdown to you. Once Kaliki 4 has declared their launch, you know your time has come. You disengage the restraints and prepare yourself. Kaliki 5, launching! You shout as you slam the flight sticks forwards for maximum thrust. Uh-oh. Kaliki 5, abort launch! Cut thrusters! Kaliki 5, abort launch! Cut thrusters! The engineer's instructions barely register in the confusion as you're jerked around the cockpit, your helmet slamming on the control panel as a brief moment of thrust throws you back in your seat before you're whipped forwards again. I feel like we shouldn't have been doing maximum thrust like in the hangar. I don't know if that's what went wrong, but that sounds like an awful idea. Warnings flash all over your monitors and sirens and alerts sound from all over the cockpit. Calico 5, abort launch! Abort launch and cut thrusters! It takes a few seconds for you to comprehend the engineer, but once you do, you quickly pull the flight sticks back to their neutral position. The roar of your frame's engines dies, and your cockpit regains its previous stillness. You wince as the metallic taste of blood fills your mouth. Alright, Calico 5, hang tight for a moment. Your frame's restraints didn't accept the disengage command, so you're still attached to the Calico. Oh no! We got all tangled up! We're going to need to run a diagnostic. Shouldn't take too long. You slump in the cockpit's chair and exhale deeply, your heart still pounding 1,000,000 beats per minute and your lips stinging. You continue to slow your breathing as you listen to the still open communications channel from the maintenance crew as they work to get your frame released. Everyone else is going to be totally fine, right? This isn't going to be like the one freak accident that saves us from like a complete slaughter or something. Hey, yeah, looks like the restraints disengage command didn't register. Yeah, Unit 5. Alright, yeah. Get Unit 6 out, so no sense waiting for this one. Okay, stop the diagnostic, then reboot if necessary. Calico 6 launching! Okay, so everyone's gone now except for us. Aren't the graphics cool? What do you mean hardware fault? We've checked this 10 times since Mars, at least! Who was it that assigned Unit 5? Oh, fuck. Fine, right. Shut down the systems and run the diagnostic again. I want this frame out there in the next 5 minutes. Calico 5, we're going to shut down your frame systems for a moment so we can run diagnostics. Stay steady though, we'll have you launching soon. Calico 5, understood? Ready and waiting. Guys, we got injured before we even left the hangar. We couldn't... we couldn't get out properly and we like drew blood. As your cockpit fades into darkness again, you release the flight sticks and suddenly realize just how long you've been clenching your fists around them. You flex your fingers and roll your shoulders, exhaling again as you begin to hear the muffled sounds of the engineers working on your frame's restraints. Staring at the dead monitor, you slowly begin to smile. This was what you wanted, wasn't it? You spent so long worrying about this mission that you'd thrown up twice in the past 24 hours, and now it looks like that was all for nothing. You got what you wanted, and you were safe. As safe as you can be, strapped to the outside of a military carrier in an inactive armored frame anyway. Your smile widens inadvertently at that thought. Getting shot down in an inactive frame was still in its restraints. You'd become a cautionary tale for engineers and pilots throughout the entire Jovian colony fleet. Your mind turns quickly to the rest of your squadron. When they return, you'd be the laughingstock of the entire Calico. Yeah, you would! You'd definitely get like a nickname from this if everyone's okay. The pilot had spent their entire first mission stuck in a dark cockpit. You dodged a bullet, but you'd never... Calico 6! They've cut off flight path! There's more! There's a whole squadron of carriers coming in from E-Field! We could have not seen this coming, you guys! Calico 1, they're going to cut you off from the fleet! Calico 6's signal disappearing as you sit bolt upright as you begin pressing buttons, trying to activate your cockpit's main monitor so you can see what's going on. However, with your frame's systems shut down remotely by the maintenance crew, you can do nothing but sit in the dark stillness and listen to events unfold. Calico 6, respond! Calico 6, what's going on? How many carriers are coming in from E-Field? Ma'am, Calico 6's signals have been lost. It's not responding. Ma'am, hold it together, Calico 4. All units, form up. Defensive formation on me. I said all units, Calico 2, don't break formation. Ma'am, they're firing on us. There's so many of them. Oh God, ma'am, help! In an instant, your communications channel is flooded with the cries of terror and panic. You hear your squad mates and your fellow pilots' exclamations of Not Lemon like cackling evilly at like everybody in panic and getting slaughtered. Well played. Hey Meeple, welcome in. Right, you hear your squad mates, your fellow pilots' exclamation of fear as this unexpected enemy force bears down on them. Welcome in, guys. I hope you're doing well. Screams and yelps, wails and howls fill your head as you sit powerless in the dark confines of your cockpit. Hey! Hey, who's out there? Engineering? Hey, get me ready! I can help! Get me ready for launch! Engineering? They're getting killed out there! I need to go now! You shout demands till you get your frame ready for launch over the channel, but they're met with no response. In the dark of the cockpit, with your controls unresponsive, you can't be sure whether the channel is closed or if no one's listening, with all attentions turned to receiving the battle damaged units from your squad. Listen to me! Anyone? Anyone! Get me out there! You desperately begin attempting a manual override of your systems, but find that nothing responds to you. Also, we're still in the restraints that don't respond to the disengage command, so I don't really know what we were expecting to do here. The only spark of life that you can glean from your frame is the small diagnostics progress bar. I need to be out there! Anyone! Hey! In one last desperate attempt, you begin hammering on your cockpit walls, hoping to get the attention of the engineers you could hear outside earlier. The entire time, the chaos of the combat out in space is narrated to you in broken fragments of radio chatter. There's 3, 4! On me! I've lost my shield! I can't shake them! They're everywhere! They're... The line of retreat's totally cut off! We can't get back to the ship! Man, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up! 3 and 4, on me! We're going to punch a hole through their formation and... Ma'am! Ma'am! Come in, ma'am! Oh god, oh... One by one, your squad's signals disappear, and the cacophony of panic disappears, replaced by the gentle hiss of static. Every time I hear him, hey Meeple, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like my voice. Yeah, you're in luck today, Meeple. This is a sci-fi visual novel. As far as I know, there is like absolutely no voice acting, so I'm going to have to do it all. Enjoy! You stop hammering on the side of your cockpit as the last voice is cut off. You're drenched in a cold sweat now, and your empty stomach feels like a rock has sunk to the bottom of it. You lean back and stare blankly ahead. This is Kaliki 5. Ready for takeoff? You're not, though. You're not. You're not ready. September 21st. Planetary calendar 209. Despite last-minute reinforcements for the Solar Federation from their headquarters on Earth, the banner above Luna is a victory for the joint Martian and Jovian forces. This would be the final battle of the Solar War. Having lost their last stronghold on Lunar, the Solar Federations would agree to a ceasefire and sign an armistice to end hostilities. An uneasy peace fills the solar system. With the conflict between the Solar Federation and the Martian-Jovian alliance concluded, the Kaliki and her crew soon returned to the Europa colony near Jupiter. This might be as close to his audiobook as we get from Sil. Yeah, the problem with me recording an audiobook is that I'd have to do it with crap, what's it called? Like the stuff that doesn't have copyright on it. The stuff that's in the public domain. Public domain is what I was trying to remember. So it really restricts like the available material for me to read. April 19th. Hey, that's Lily's birthday. You'll be so good to thank you, Meeple. Planetary calendar 214. The reduced need for pilots away from the delicate space between Earth and Mars saw Ensign Fryn, that's us, reassigned to security detail aboard various Jovian ships. She is eventually promoted to Lieutenant. Oh, we made Lieutenant! Happy birthday, Lily! Yeah! By the way, before anyone tries to like hack my accounts with like social engineering or whatever, I do not use her birthday for any passwords. All of my passwords these days are randomly generated using a password manager, so good luck. 4 years have passed since the battle above Lunar. The Jovian colony fleet, fearing fresh aggression from Earth, has increased patrols near its colonies after picking up unusual signals from further out in the solar system. Ooh, unusual signals, fun. There's no aliens in this, right? The patrol ship JFS Gundog is dispatched to support the JFS O'Brien in its investigation of these signals. Jovian space. Aboard the Jovian patrol ship, JFS Gundog. That's the name of the game! As the rumble of the Gundog's engines roaring to life reverberates through the ship, you clench your fists. It's been 4 years, and to this day, the sensation of tremors, whether they're ship engines, docking clamps, or weapons drills, still ties your stomach into knots. We haven't even seen any action! What do you mean? Why? A bad trait for a ship's security officer. You shake your head and exhale slowly, taking a moment before stowing the last of your possessions and pushing the drawer closed. You feel the click as it locks into place, and the exterior plastic paneling sits completely flush with its surroundings. Stepping back, you look around the room. You take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. Although this was far from your first posting as a security officer, you always felt the same sense of trepidation, if not anxiety. As similar as all the ships were, they all came with their own unique crews and personalities, and with those came unique problems. Breathing out, you take a look around the room, taking stock of your surroundings. Select the look button to examine your surroundings by selecting items of interest. Alright, select it again when you're done. Okay, so this is like a toggle. Select the use button to interact with your surroundings. Okay. Cool. Which one is engaged? I guess right now lock is engaged. Look is engaged. Standard cruise bunk. Once you've slept in one, you've slept in them all. Although this is one of the nicer ones I've been assigned to. The wall panel can be removed by jimming it with a thin object. And crew members often stash contraband there. Although it looks like this one's not been touched though. Not yet. Hi Adam, isn't the pixel art cool? You haven't even seen anything yet. The characters in particular look great, and like the animations, I've only seen what's up on the Steam store, but it looks like top tier. Also, welcome in, hope you're doing well. Let's see. Oh, does this mean control the room's lighting? Oh, I thought these were books. I didn't realize this was like a control panel. Oh, I keep my books here too. Okay. So it's just doubling up. Currently reading Tales of the Cosmic Champions series. The door. I'm something of a scientist myself. Yeah, Adept also does awesome pixel art. I'm sure you have like an even deeper appreciation for this than I do. Standard door, electronic lock, magnetic bolting system. Only way in or out unless you plan on getting creative with maintenance tunnels. Terminal, access ship's computer. Okay, so there's like just like a main, like, I don't want to say mainframe, but there's like a mainframe. There's like an intranet, and like these are just like terminals to all of like the one computer. It's got a clock, a word processor, and even a calendar! Hot diggity! I can also access records and my orders from here, but for anything else I need to access the file- access the core, which is limited to those in operations or command. Alright, anything else to interact with? Not really. Oh, this. Normal storage unit. Okay, it's just drawers. I travel light, so mine only has clothes in it. I guess we could use the computer. Oh, it looks like I've been instructed to report to the bridge to meet the captain. I haven't met anyone yet since my transport to the spaceport ran late, and I just about made it on board before launch. Click the move button to move to a different location. Okay.
You step out onto an empty corridor and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives a short series of beeps and you hear the locks engage. The dull thrum of the ship's systems is barely audible, but otherwise you are stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. This has been the same on every ship you've been stationed on, and at this point, it doesn't surprise you. Okay, so this is a Swift-class patrol vessel, which means if I leave this quarters block, I'll be in the Foreside Thoroughfare. If I go right towards the aft, I'll arrive in the central hub, and then I can head to the bridge. Cool, I hope you didn't expect me to remember those instructions. Thoroughfare. You leave the crew block behind you, and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left with multiple smaller corridors leading from it. To your right, the corridor leads to a large, plaza-like space. A very faint breeze coming from your left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sounds of human activity. From the right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet, whirring sound. Looks like I was right. This portion of the thoroughfare will let me access both sets of crew quarters, the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. From here I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry up to meet the captain before I look around anywhere else. Alright. Let's go to central hub, right? And then to the bridge? As you enter the central hub, you hear a low whirring noise and the engines grow louder. You can see the readouts from above one of the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it to travel to another part of the ship. Looking around, you can see the entrances to both the fore and aft side thoroughfares, as well as the corridors to the airlocks. These elevators will take me to the bridge where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. Bridge! Knowing that you need to report to the captain, who, at this point of the ship's journey, should be stationed on the bridge, you make your way towards the elevators and press the call button. You step back and watch the indicators above each elevator, waiting for one to arrive. As you wait, your mind begins to wander, and you're caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back, and a voice from behind you declares, "Hands in the air! Identify yourself!" Your posture stiffens as you snap back to reality, caught completely off guard by the voice behind you. Thoughts race through your mind as you try to figure out what's going on. Could there already be another security detail on board? That shouldn't be possible. As far as you knew, you were the only one, unless... I said hands in the air, punk! You tentatively raise your hands, palms flat and facing forwards, as whatever has been thrust into the small of your back is removed slowly, and you hear the person behind you take a step backwards. You exhale and begin to turn around. Lieutenant Friend, security detail, ID SO250JFSG. I'm on my way to meet the captain to... Where you'd been expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright and cheery officer waving a pen around with a large smile on her face. You're taken aback for a moment as this isn't just any officer. This is... Cassie! What are you... It's not great. Syl, I've missed you so much! You big doofus, you should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... I love that face you make when you think you're in trouble. It's like you think playing the big soldier would get you out of trouble. It's so cute. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn. You should have known, really. She's always been the one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you've known her. Her less than professional attitude and penchant for responsibility is the reason why, despite her talents, she's not commanding a ship of her own. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right? But if you're being honest, her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now. It's a girlfriend! You've been dating for nearly 2 years now, but a lot of that has been over the electronic mail or in letters. Your postings have never lined up, until now. Cassie, what are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. You never said you were being transferred. What happened? Well, the thing about that is, you might say a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory for my career. Cassandra, please. Okay, so maybe when it came time to change the ship's cybersecurity passwords, I couldn't be bothered spending all day sitting in the computer core, waiting for it to generate new code, so I just changed all of the existing passwords by a digit. Oh my god, Cassandra, no. I thought it was gonna be for a prank, but she's just... That was just like literally quite bad. Like she's lucky she didn't get demoted, I think. You place your face in your hands as a dull groan rises from the back of your throat. This isn't the first time you've heard a story like this. And maybe it turns out when they run the cybersecurity drills, they assume that the enemy have your old passwords, so they try brute forcing from those. And maybe that meant the ship was compromised in 0.5 seconds. But at least they found out done that in a drill and not a real engagement, right? I basically saved the entire ship in advance. I'm surprised you're still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in a records room at Europa Colony right now? This is like 1994 Japanese console PC pixel art. Isn't it amazing? I love it. This game came out in February this year. Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust you, who can I trust? It turns out this mission was organized at really short notice and the Gundog was the only ship available. The problem was they'd been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Lucky for me that had so recently been made available. That's weird. I'd only just been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. Oh, Cassie, what did you do? Cassie? Cassie? Okay, you figured it out. I may have used one of my contacts from the Academy who works in resource to transfer you over here. I'm pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that. Hi, Yeti! I'm at a charity shop. Oh, okay. I hope you have a great stream. Gonna be watching the VOD on this one. Hi, Yeti from the future. I hope you're doing well. Have a good shift. Can I call it a shift? Remember to hydrate. Ow! And also thank you for the hydrate. Everybody hydrate. Oh, what was I supposed to do? I get stationed on some tiny ship heading out to the middle of nowhere with no one I know on the crew? I am not clicked in. There we go. We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me? Of course I'm glad to see you. I've missed you too, you know. It's been a long time. You don't become part of the Reliance Operations Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to look around the ship yet? No, not yet. I was going to... Great! I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so I basically know the ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go to first? I was on my way to see the captain. I hope the engines start up, so I know we're launching soon. I thought that I should probably report in as soon as possible. Oh, don't worry about that. I've already logged you on board, so it's just a formality now. Besides, Captain Bartermuse isn't exactly a stickler for procedure, so we can check out anywhere you want before we head up there. Well, alright, in that case. Great! This is gonna be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time it's over, you have seen every inch of this ship and met everyone on board. It's been so long since we last saw each other too that we definitely need to take time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted. You can now access every area of the Gundog. Click talk button to view a list of who is available to talk to. Oh, I need to sneeze. Oh no. I just got a shout out on a channel that shows clips with shout outs. Oh no! And the clip it used was you crying when Josh and I made you play Rhythm Castle. That was brutal. I never want to play a rhythm game again. I'm glad you're so pleased. You look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to your first destination, waiting at you to follow. It might be a small ship, you think, but now would be the perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiarize yourself with where you'll be spending your current duty. Plus, you admit, it wouldn't hurt to meet all the crew. Better to get to know them sooner rather than later. Alright, I guess we can only talk to Cassandra, right? And she wants us to move on. Where do we go first? Let's go... airlock? We just came from the aft thoroughfare, right? Or maybe I should go top to bottom. I feel like I might lose track if I don't. Okay, let's go aft thoroughfare first. As the two of you leave the central hub behind you and travel down the aft side thoroughfare, the hum of the engines continues to grow louder. You'd effectively filtered the noise out in the rest of the ship, but as you got closer to the rear, its volume increased considerably. Are the engines supposed to be that loud? Are the what? I said, are the engines supposed to be that loud? The what? I said, are the engines... I heard you the first time, I'm just messing with you. You could have fooled me. I've never been on a ship where the engines are so noticeable. Is it supposed to be like that? Supposed to? No, not really. But the Gundog's a Swift class, a type of patrol ship that's designed for rapid response. They're made to cover large areas of space quickly and offer basic assistance to the ship in distress. That will be the first one on the scene to gather intel and issue warnings if anyone comes too close to Jovian space. Which means, design-wise, they've prioritized speed above everything else. I guess the best way to sum it all up is that the Gundog is basically a huge set of engines with a tiny ship strapped to them. Well, that's reassuring. Oh, it's fine. It just means there's no space for systems like motion dampeners or soundproofing. You'll miss it when you leave. I'm assuming there's no one else to talk to? Yeah. Move Armory. You swipe your You swipe your keycard through the card reader set into the terminal by the Armory's door. Instead of the door opening as you would expect, you hear a harsh tone from the terminal. Looking at its screen, you see a message displayed in large flashing letters. Access denied. Insufficient authority. Looks like your clearance hasn't been fully processed yet. You'll have to meet the captain before you can get into that room. It is like low-key tripping me up a little bit that this game is in like UK English instead of American English. Every now and then I see words like spelt slightly different and I do like a double take. Central Hub. Oh wait, no, we were just here. Flavor, yeah. We want engineering. Ooh, cool. As the two of you continue through the aft thoroughfare, the thrum of the engines grows louder still. The featureless paneling that has made up the majority of the ship's interior quickly gives way to visible pipes and conduits, and eventually the smooth flooring transitions to grating, revealing more and more workings underfoot. Finally, the thoroughfare leads into one huge open chamber filled with masses of machinery. Terminal panels are set to the sides of various Terminal panels are sent to the side of various apparatus, cycle through different readings. The light from the screens reflected off ducts and valves. All this equipment is separated by a grid of catwalks and access ladders. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is right. This is central engineering. Pretty much every system aside from the engines themselves and the central computer can be found in this room. All in one place? Isn't that a little risky? Well, a Swift-class ship relies on absolutely minimal crew. The Gundog only has 2 engineers. I think they figured it would be easier on them if everything that was important was kept in one place. That way, they don't have to run from one end of the ship to another to get all their repairs done if something goes wrong. Huh, you certainly know a lot about ship engineering. What can I say? I'm a pretty talented individual. Oh yeah? Whilst we're here, you can share some of that knowledge. What's that over there? That's the Pholenic conversion unit. And what's that? That's The omnifaceted Wayne shaft. Uh-huh. And what about that? That's the turbo encapsulator? Every day is a school day. I'm head of operations, not chief engineer, okay? I don't need to know what... Hey, no one better be screwing up or screwing around up here. You both jump as a stern voice barks at you from below. Looking down, you see through the grating that another catwalk situated below the one you've stood on is a crew member moving at speeds towards the ladder that joins the two walkways. Yeah, this is like the other UK English thing that kind of trips me up. Like the phrase, the one you're stood on, is like very UK. we don't even speak like that in New Zealand, and New Zealand uses like UK English. I swear, if I find so much as a single terminal readout out of place, I'm stuffing the two of you into the organics processing system. If I have to retrieve one more pin from behind the compressors... The crew member continues to grumble as they ascend. Quinn, you better not be here to tell me that your favorite pin has somehow fallen to the system block again. No, Chief, I got it right here. Damn straight you do. Now make sure you hang on to that one or you're going to need someone to pull you out of the system block instead. And who's this? Our wayward security officer? You got a name there? You quickly throw a sharp salute at the woman in front of you without even checking her rank first. Not only does she loom over you physically, but you quickly pick up on a force of personality that feels like it adds an extra 6 inches to her considerable stature. Lieutenant Friend, security officer for the JFS Cunt Dog, ma'am. Less of that man business, friend. Name's Mackenzie Cathays. Cathays? Cathays, right. Chief engineer, but that's chief to you. Yes, chief. Damn straight. Now, what are the two of you doing in engineering? I was just giving Lieutenant Friend a tour of the ship, Chief. Is that so? You've never been on a ship before, Lieutenant? First assignment? Never on a Swift class, Chief. I've only served on strike or supply classes to date. That's so. Which strike vessels? The JFS Victory and the JFS Thunderbolt, Chief. Victory and Thunderbolt, huh? Don't think either of those two are less than 3 years old, so probably wouldn't have seen what the new streamlined distribution systems. I wonder if you would have seen the power coils, though. I think the Victory was part of that production. You and Cassandra exchange a quick, nervous glance as the Chief, who had previously seemed like she was about to physically throw both of you out of engineering, suddenly begins a conversation with herself. You continue to stand in a nervous attention as she ruminates about the ship components. Chief, is there anything I can help you with about those ships? Huh? Oh. Lieutenants, didn't realize you were still here. Now you're off the hook, friend. No, unless you can tell me whether the Victory was outfitted with 3rd generation BPAC upgrades anyway. Sorry, Chief, I don't think I could. I wonder if that's because the retrofitting takes into account space availability in the ship's interior for minimal transversal impact. Although, maybe it could be that it takes... I think now would be a good time for us to move on. Good idea. Well, that's all, Chief. We'll just be going now. Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Just don't let me catch you screwing around in here again. There's only 2 engineers. Engines? Wait. Central computer. You swipe your keycard through the card reader sent to the terminal by the door leading to the central computer. The door doesn't open, and instead you hear a harsh tone from the terminal, which is now displaying an error message. Looking at its screen, you see a message displayed in large, flashing letters. Access denied. Insufficient authority. Oh, even with your security clearance, you won't be able to go into the main computer room. Because the staff is so small, the ship's computer handles a lot of the tasks that would normally be done by the crew. It controls a lot of really sensitive functions, so only the captain and the operations team are allowed access. Oh? I don't think any of the ships I've been have had a computer system like this. The bigger ships usually have their computing distributed amongst multiple systems across the ship. But because they've also got larger crews, there's more that the people on board are responsible for. I think that because the Swift class is so small and there's such a limited crew, they needed to assign more functionality to the computer. Because of that, it's a lot more vital that no one screws around with it. I see. You said the operations have access. Can we take a look using your authority? Well, since the whole reason I'm here is that I didn't exactly take my responsibilities with the Reliance computer systems seriously, the captains told me not to mess around with it. Ah. But it's not that interesting anyway. Engines? Wait, are we looking at the engines? We're not, right? The two of you watch from around the corner as Chief Cathays continues to mutter to herself, goes back and forth checking terminal readouts and various displays. Eventually, she heads down the ladder that she'd climbed to confront you. Now, out of sight, Cassandra darts towards the engine room, gesturing you over. Gesturing. Yeah, gesturing. Gesturing you over. Checking over your shoulder in case the chief has reappeared, you make your way to her, just in time for the doorway to the engine room to open and Cassandra to disappear inside before you can raise an objection. Well, it's got to be better than staying here with the chief. The room you find yourself in is similar in size to the area you just left, but whilst that was crammed full of a huge range of machinery, this room is almost entirely filled by one colossal cylindrical device. The pulse of the engine is now a tangible sensation as the vibrations it emits shakes your entire body. I find this like pixel font so hard to read. There's other fonts, but like this one matches the aesthetic so well that I don't want to change it. So this is the main engine. Well, one of them anyway. Like Chief said, the ship's outfitted with two of these. I see what you meant when you said that the gun dog's a huge set of engines with a ship strapped to them. This thing's massive. I know. I look at it and I feel like you could probably fit the rest of the ship in this room if the engines weren't here. That's because it's impossible to get the Higgs field distortion drive any smaller. Ah, Chief! Ah, Chief! I didn't know. I know you said that. So these engines are actually combination nuclear pulse engines built around the Higgs field distortion device. If the HFDD wasn't here, then this engine could be about 10 times smaller than it is. Although I hear they managed to improve the efficiency of newer NPEs, so it's possible that the space saving could be more like 11 times smaller. Can either of you tell me how an HFDD works? HFDD? Higgs field distortion drive. What are they teaching you at the Academy? It's a drive that allows the ship to move far beyond speeds allowed by conventional engines, although it's nowhere near faster than light. Oh good, that's a relief. It's what lets us get around the solar system without needing to worry about whether we'll live long enough to see the end of the journey. Anyway, everyone knows about the existence of the Higgs field. It's what allows interactions with the Higgs boson that gives particles their mass. Oh, right. So, what the drive does is warp the field relative to the ship and those on board. By doing that, it displaces the mass to a different area of space, but within the same relative... As the chief continues on with her explanation, you glance at Cassandra and see a thinly veiled look of terror on her face. You can't blame her, as you feel much the same way caught in this impromptu lecture. I love this lecture! I want to hear more about the engines. It sounds like they really thought this through. At least more thought through than like a lot of other sci-fi like world building. Then, because the particles retain their relationship with each other, as the general perception is that things are the same as normal. However, from an exterior perspective, lecture drags on and you quickly lose track of Chief's explanation. Although you recognize the words she's saying, you can no longer make sense of the context, and they come to seem like a meaningless string of sounds. Does that make sense? Yeah, so the field is it's got the mass, which is pushed? No! How to put it? Okay, so imagine that space is a ketchup packet, and you are the source. The source? Right, the source. Now, what the distortion drive does is it's like a thumb on the universe of the packet. It moves the source around by changing the shape of the packet to push the source. So the packet is the universe, and we're the source, and the drive is a Thumb? You've got it. You quickly glance back to Cassandra and meet her eyes as she's doing the same thing. You know for certain that neither of you have got it. And that's why these engines have to be so big, to house that drive. Oh, it all makes sense now. I see. Yes, definitely. Great. Well, now that you appreciate the science behind it, I won't have to throw you out of here. Thanks, Chief. Anytime. Just remember, Lieutenant. Yes, Chief? Screw with anything, and I'll throw you out of the airlock instead. Yes, Chief. Sauce? What a great explanation. So we'll move back to engineering. And then to the aft thoroughware. And we tried to get into the armory, but we don't have clearance yet. Central Hub is where we were before, and engineering is what we just visited. So I guess we'll go back to Central Hub. And let's go to the airlock. And this is the main airlock. It's the main way to get on and off the ship when it's docked. Thanks, but I've already been here. Oh, really? When? Actually, I think I'm confusing it with somewhere else. What else can you tell me? Well, it's got one of the best views on the ship for one thing. You look around but can't see any windows. You wouldn't expect to on a military vessel where an inclusion like that would compromise the structure. Here? Really? Yeah, really! Check it out! Cassandra strides over to the terminal set into the wall next to the airlock hatch and quickly begins typing commands into it. You hear a sequence of beeps and she stands back, gesturing proudly to the screen. Not too bad, huh? You look at the screen, but all you can see is a dark display with a few errant pixels suspended on it. Is that working? Of course it's working! Look! You stare a moment longer at the screen, and although it takes you a moment, you eventually realize. That's an external feed! That's right. Normally you can only see out of the gun dog from either the bridge or the hangar. But the ship's covered in small cameras for combat situations. You can access the feeds from the terminals around the ship. That's actually pretty cool. But isn't the view from the bridge or the hangar better? You know, because you're actually looking out? Well, maybe, but there's always someone else around. You never get the view to yourself. No one ever comes here, and it's so quiet. It's almost like you're out there. I guess I can see what you mean. It's pretty quiet out this way, and with a fancy screen like that, it's basically the real view. I knew you'd understand. I'll add the command to your terminal access. That way you can come out here and see the stars whenever you want. Thanks. Cute. I really like it that they thought through like the ship design. Like it's not like slapped together like hand wavy sci-fi. Like, oh, it's a ship. It just like, you know, looks like a ship, but it's in space. Shrug. There's like windows and stuff. It's fine. This is like proper hard sci-fi. I'm really appreciating it. Alright, we'll go to the bridge last. Let's go to the foreside thoroughware. As you head away from the central hub, the noise from the engine becomes quieter, and the ambient temperature feels noticeably cooler. The thoroughware stretches out in front of you with doorways leading to other areas of the ship visible in the distance. And here we are in the full-field thoroughware, I know. I went to my quarters earlier when I came aboard. What did you just say? Foreside thoroughfare. No, I don't think you did. I 100% said foreside, but for fair, what? What? Aha! It's a tricky thing to say. You try saying it quickly. Foreside thoroughfare. 4-5 thoroughfare. 4-5 thoroughfare. Aha, yourself! Well, we'll call this one a draw, Lieutenant. We'll move to... We just came from the central hub. Crew quarters, corridor 1. So your quarters are down this way, huh? That's right. Why? I was wondering where you'd be. On a Swift class, there's 2 different quarter sections. One has all the department chiefs, while the other one has the crew that works with within those departments. Since you're the only security officer on board, I was wondering if you'd count as department head or not. Well, I guess I don't. I'm just slumming it. Oh, that's not... What I meant was... I'm messing with you. Don't worry about it. The head of security is typically under the captain's instruction anyway, so it makes sense that my quarters are down this way. I guess so, when you put it like that. So have you met any of your neighbors yet? Well, let's see. Hanson Crowways? Yeah, I know this guy. Oh, you've met him already? Not on the Gundog. I knew him back on the Kaliki. Oh! Is he the guy you've told me about? That's right. Not what you'd call my biggest fan. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I guess they were, like, bullying us or something, maybe? Haru Rumney. Nope, not met them yet either. I haven't spent much time with Haru. They're the second AF pilot on board the Gundog. As far as I know, they're a pretty good pilot, but that's only from what they say, so I can't say for sure if it's true or not. Haru spends all of their time hanging out with Hanson, and the 2 of them swagger around like they own the place. Pilots, am I right? Spends a lot of time with Hanson, huh? And I guess that tells me something. Dalton Grange. Haven't run into him yet. Dalton's such a sweetie! Is that right? Yeah, he's a junior engineer. He's actually just a student working towards his degree in naval engineering on a JCF scholarship, so he's still really eager to please. You can watch him bounce around the hangar like a pinball, trying to get everything the chief tells him to do done as quickly as possible. Sounds like he's a little bit highly strung. You bet! He's right at the start of his training, so he'll jump the second you tell him to. You can go into the hangar and shout, "Dalton!" and he's there in a second. The other day, the chief told him to find her a left-handed wrench, and he was tearing the hangar apart trying to find one. Hint, there is no left-handed wrench. Poor kid. Oh, he's okay. That chief was only busting his chops. Dylan Dees. Nope, haven't met him yet. He's the ship's gunner. Bit of a weird guy. You're more likely to find him in fire control than you ever will in his quarters. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he brought tons of cassettes with him, and day or night you'll find him listening to them one after the other. He's always sat staring out into space or eardrumming along. He doesn't really talk to anyone. At least he's always at his post. Anything else to look at? Not really. Let's move... Wait, should we like try going into any of the rooms? I guess he's not even here. It just says I don't need to go in here. Okay. So we can't even like try knocking. Alright. Let's go back to... Should we take her to our quarters? I guess she probably wants to see it, huh? Monday! Hi, Monday! Thank you for the break! Alright guys, Monday has redeemed a forced break, so in 20 seconds we're going to take a 6-minute break. Looked like an okay break time. Yeah, it's a visual novel, so it's pretty chill so far. We're just having a tour of the ship. Thanks for the redeem, Monday. I hope you're doing well. Okay, 7 seconds. You guys go and hydrate, grab a snack, use the toilet, do your laundry, take your pills. See you guys in 6 minutes. Welcome back, guys. I hope you're ready for another hour of me reading text. Hope you all grabbed a drink, grabbed a snack, did anything you need to do, and you're nice and cozy. Welcome back. Thank you, Monday. All right, we've just we're taking a quick tour of the ship, and we're leading Cassie, our girlfriend, by the way, our long-distance girlfriend that we are now stationed on the ship with. We just took her to our bedroom. As you step into your quarters, Cassandra follows you in. She stands by the door for a moment, looking around the room before turning to face you. Wow, you really like to keep it tidy, don't you? I've only just got here, and it's not a lot of time to make a mess. Fancy quarters for a newbie, and oh my gosh, time to hold hands, I know. I might have to put like an 18+ tag on here. Yeah, it's a pretty nice quarters, right? Our character said that the bed, like this bed off to the side here is like nicer than most of the ones that they've been stationed in. Are you kidding? I'm pretty sure my bag exploded the moment I stepped into my quarters. Jovian military supplies just not what they used to be. Or maybe it was operator error? And what's that supposed to mean, Lieutenant? Nothing, just considering all the possibilities. Wait, is that... What? Lieutenant friend, don't tell me that. What? What is it? Your chair! It's not perfectly aligned with the terminal! I guess nobody's perfect, huh? I would have made more of an effort if I knew the officer doing the spot checks was such a stickler. I suppose I won't have to report you to the captain this time, Lieutenant. Guess I love Cassandra. Cassie is like such a fun character. She likes stupid jokes and pranks and just like teasing everyone. It's great. I guess there's not much to do in here, right? Hey, want to see something cool? I feel like this may be a bad idea, but go on. Alright, I've always loved your sense of adventure. Now check this out. If you work your fingers under the bottom of one of those panels by your bunk, you can take it off its mountings and there's a recess behind it that you can stash contraband in. Oh! How about this floor panel? Did you know that if you use something strong enough you can pry it open, it leads to a crawl space below decks that you can use to get to the other areas of the ship? Yeah. Alright, but I bet you didn't know that if you logged into your terminal and entered a secret code that you can play Snake. That too, sorry. Well, fine. I guess you probably know every secret on the ship then. Well, not every secret, but I am a security officer. Yo, I feel like our character is kind of being a dick here. She was so excited. We should have just let her have her moment. Immediately going for the contraband talk, I know, right? Yeah, Cassie just wanted to info dump about the secrets. She tried. Even if you like... Okay, so personally, I don't really like it when people... Like, if I'm doing this and people just, like, pretend that they don't already know the thing so that, like, it lets me, like, explain it to them. I don't like it. If I'm telling you something you already know, I want you to tell me. But just, like, don't be a dick about it. Like, if I'm enthusiastic about something, like, just match the enthusiasm, you know what I mean? That's what I try to do when people, like, the same thing happens to me. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, I already know that. It's like, yeah, isn't it cool? Do you know about this one? But, like, shooting her down like that was kind of mean. I've seen him caught every trick there is when it comes to contraband. Crew breaking fraternalization rules or system exploits. Oh no, Cassie. You're in trouble. You maybe want to get a different girlfriend. It'll have to get pretty technical to get past me. Wait, how do you know all of this? Oh, well, that is... Back to the tour! Yeah, matching enthusiasm, yeah. Enthusiasm is great. I feel like it's part of like the toxic masculinity thing, right? That like, I don't know, I feel like some of my male friends are like scared to get enthusiastic and talk about stuff. Like they just have to be like too cool to like care enough. Welcome in, dude Manjo. How's it going? Alright, we need to move back out onto the corridor. And then back into the thoroughfare. Everyone deserves to get excited about what they're excited about. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of tragic. I've got this one friend, and he, like, it's it's almost like he's scared to have his own opinion in public. Like, like he'll just agree with you. Indigo, welcome in. I get excited about trains in front of my juniors at work during siesta. Oh, nice. Did anybody join you? And yeah, trains are awesome. What kind of trains are your favorite? Tell me about the trains. How are the trains in Australia? Are they decent? They're pretty mid in New Zealand. It is so easy to steal a ride on the New Zealand ones, at least in like the Wellington area. They're pretty good actually. Oh, nice. Yeah, trains are cool. I like trains. Trains are very neat. Yeah, welcome in, Indy. We're playing a retro sci-fi visual novel. We have some of the luxury sleeper trains too. Oh, nice. Yeah, there might be one sleeper train in New Zealand, but I've never been on it. That sounds neat. Enjoy your lurk, Monday. Thank you again for the break redeem. Thanks for hanging. Enjoy your lurk. Yeah, team trains. I guess we'll try going to crew quarters corridor 2 now. And this is the second set of crew quarters. Ow. Hi, Okami, welcome in. This is the second set of crew quarters where operations staff, that's me and Vanessa, the department heads, and captains have their quarters. Makes sense? Of course, it's obvious why you'd come this way so soon after after finding out I was part of the crew. What do you mean? I'm supposed to be meeting the captain soon! I know, and despite that, you've let your libido guide you to my quarters, you animal. I love Cassie. I don't care who you are, trains are just interesting. Trains are cool! Trains are very neat. Actually, my junior started. Oh, really? Cool. Because she was saying that her boyfriend's dad is super into trains and has a model train. Oh, cool! Model train that's an exact replica of a particular countryside station circa 1899. That's so awesome. Did you get her dad's number? Maybe you can head over there. Play with this train set. That sounds super neat. I just like the aesthetic of trains. That's fair. Okay, maybe save that for later, okay? You tease! Cassandra is great. This is Vanessa's room. She's great. We work together in operations. Oh yeah? You're friends already? Definitely! She's done so much for me already. She's always letting me know that she's covered for me when I'm late, that she's picked up on some of my tasks when I'm running behind. She's a little angel. Sounds like Cassandra is just a terrible colleague. Cassandra, I've run your diagnostics again. I don't know what to do without her. Oh my gosh, she's not nice, she's just passive aggressive. Now, what about this one? Oh, it's hers. The nameplate reads Cassandra Quinn. I don't really need an explanation for who that room belongs to. Mackenzie's, that is the chief's room. She seems pretty committed to the job. I bet she doesn't spend much time here. How is the game so far? It is so much cooler than I expected. We're still at the very start. We just hopped onto the ship and now our girlfriend is giving us a tour. But it's actually hard sci-fi. they don't do like the Star Trek hand wavy beams and are just magical and they work because science fiction, right? They've actually put some thought into the construction of the ship and how the engines and stuff work. It's really neat. And obviously the art is awesome.
Yeah, the 90s anime style. Isn't the aesthetic amazing? Hi, Jessie. Bye, Jessie. Thanks for popping in. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, the aesthetic is wonderful. I love it. I love the pixel art. It's gorgeously done. And like I was a little bit worried about like the sound effects and the background music and stuff. Because while the retro like music is super awesome, I have noticed that sometimes they can give me a headache. So I was like a little bit worried about that, but it's been totally fine so far. It's just a great game. I don't know what the plot will be like. We haven't really gotten into that. Once we actually get into like the visual novel, like the story itself, I have absolutely no idea what to expect. But we're a security officer, so I'm wondering if this is gonna be like kind of like a detective novel or something. Are you a dog? Yes. Wait, in the game? No. The ship is called what is it, like a JFS Gundog or something? Yeah, Gundog is the name of the ship, and it's like a they're calling it like a Swift, like what was it, like a Swift class vehicle or something. It's built for speed. It prioritizes speed over everything. But it's called the Gundog. All right, whose is this room? That's Dr. Rosarium's quarters, although I've never seen or heard him use them. He's pretty severe. Is that right? Yeah, it's hard to explain. I guess you'll find out when you meet him. Okay. He must be pretty intense. Normally Cassie's got a lot more to say about people than that. Can we like go into Cassie's room? I want to see how messy it is. Move to Cassandra's quarters? Yes. Oh, by the way, if you ever want to access my quarters, the passcode for the lock is 0211. It's pretty much the same passcode I use for everything. I feel like I should write this down. Hang on. I don't know how important that's gonna be. Bad OPSEC. Oh yeah. You didn't hear about how she got assigned to this ship. This is a pretty last minute. This is like pretty last minute assignment for like everyone on the ship, really. They just kind of pulled everyone on. And she was actually supposed to be stationed somewhere else, but she got kicked off because it was like her turn to update like the passwords for like a bunch of stuff in the core system, and she got really lazy and just incremented all of the passwords by 1. And then they did like a drill, thankfully just a drill, of like enemies like trying to hack into their system or something. They were basically doing a military drill, and it got brute forced in 0.5 seconds. So she she didn't get demoted, but she is in the black books, and she got transferred here. And her current clearance is supposed to give her access to the computer room, but the captain has like removed it from her access because of what she did last time to get in here. Anyway, yeah, Cassie, her zero security. Like she's yeah. The best security is to forget your passwords and have to reset them every time. It's like really not. You're basically just socially engineering your own passwords. If everyone could remember their passwords a lot better, then it would be a lot harder for like hackers to get in, right? Because then social engineering wouldn't be such a thing. When you build systems, you know, you have to leave these holes because the users just like forget their passwords. Use a password manager. I recommend KeePass. It's great. It's stored locally. It doesn't get synced to the cloud, so you're not gonna get hacked unless they actually come to your computer and hack it. There's XKCD about that. I bet there is. 0211. Got it. Oh, that's right. It's your naval ID, our anniversary, or your lucky number.
0211. It must be our anniversary, right? Otherwise she wouldn't be making this face. Like February 11? Come on, you didn't think I'd forget, did you? Hey, good job. Oh, we did it. Oh, wait. Before you go in, can you give me a few minutes just to tidy the place up? I was almost late for my duty shift this morning, so it's kind of a mess. Let me put some stuff away, okay? Yeah, sure. Keeping herself between you and the entrance to her room, Cassandra opens her door using the control panel to its right. As it opens, she swiftly steps through, and before it's even all the way open, she closes it again using the panel to her side of the entrance. The entire time, she obstructs your view of her quarters. Oh my god, how bad is it? We spent decades training people to use passwords that are hard for humans to remember and easy for computers to guess. Yes! If you have to like actually like remember your password instead of using a password manager, use a sentence. Use an entire sentence with capitals and punctuation marks and everything, like in the correct spot. That is my recommendation. If you have to remember your password and you want it to be secure, use a sentence, because that would take forever to like for a machine to crack, because it'll be so long, but it'll be super easy for you to remember and probably faster to type as well, because it's like much more like natural English. These days you can even put spaces in passwords, although I kind of, yeah, no, it depends on the system, but use a sentence, please. It's the correct horse battery stapler comic. I'll have to take a look. But yeah, sentences are where it's at. That's the main password to my KeePass. Is so that's like my password manager. It is like a full sentence from a movie. It's a movie quote that people do not associate with me. I don't think people even know that I like this movie. So it's like pretty secure, and it's very easy to remember. Alright. Thanks, I won't be long, I promise. A few minutes pass and you continue to stand gingerly outside of Cassie's quarters. You hear the occasional footsteps coming from the four-side thoroughfare, but they all move on to other parts of the ship. Thankfully, no one stops by to ask why security is lurking outside one of the operation officers' quarters. I need to get around to setting up a password manager. It's very easy, super simple. KeePass is great. It has a lot of features. It's free. It's locally stored. I cannot praise KeePass enough. And you don't have to spend ages setting it up. What I usually do is, like, I just start using it for new passwords and then just like put in ones as I use them. So it's just kind of like a slow, kind of organic migration to the password manager system, if that makes sense. Hey, Cassie. You give the door a gentle knock, leaning against the wall. Continue to remain on the lookout for anyone who may have some questions about what you're doing out here. How's it going in there? Oh yeah, almost done. Just give me a minute to get this sorted out and... That last pause is followed by a loud bang and the sound of small cascade of various objects onto the floor. Okay, maybe a few more minutes? You sigh and step back from the door. If anyone asks, you can always tell them that you're doing spot checks for contraband or something. Why can't we just tell them we're waiting for Cassie? Like, this is not illegal, right? Done! Come in! It's still a huge mess. Welcome. Make yourself at. As you step through the door frame, the toe of your boot catches on a discarded pair of leggings, which are held in place by your other foot. As you begin to fall over, you reach out to catch onto something to stop yourself. Unfortunately, the chair you reached out for has a uniform thrown over the backrest, which slips as you grab it, bringing both the chair and the assortment of cosmetics on the seat clattering down onto the floor with you. Oh no, Syl! Are you okay? I'm sorry, I thought... Cassie... Yes? I thought you said you were tidying this place up. I was. Then why did I just get brained by a fooling hairdryer? There was a system! You get back to your feet and right the chair as Cassie quickly grabs the assorted bottles and tubes that fell down with you, placing them randomly back on any nearby surface. You almost launch into a speech about securely stowing positions in case of high-speed maneuvers, but you stop yourself. Doesn't the captain ever carry out spot checks or surprise inspections? No, it's great! From what I've heard, her quarters are worse state than mine. Is that right? That's concerning. Let's take a look around. Oh my god, there's like a... Oh, there's not that much to look at. How about her bed? Cassie's bed. It currently appears to be acting as a makeshift wardrobe, just like my bed. Does she move all these clothes before she goes to sleep, or do they act like an extra sheet? How does she even have this much clothing on board anyway? Are those printed photographs? Aren't they cool? They're from our first date at Europa Amusement Park. I took my Pixie Cam straight to a specialist printer the next day and got copies made. I even wrote the date on the back so I never forget our anniversary. Oh, we look so cute together! Wow, I never knew you were that sentimental. I knew I was onto a good thing when you held my hair back so I could bath mid-roller coaster ride. You don't meet many people that are that considerate when you're dating within the forces, let me tell you. Yeah, now that I think about it, that wasn't the most romantic date I've ever been on. You still called me back up for a second date, though. I guess I must have been pretty desperate. Hey! Joking! Someone's going to break into her... Wait. Someone's going to break into her stuff because she wrote her password on the back. Yeah, for real. That's like... That's like the kind of clue you leave around in games for like the protagonist, like the player, to find. The front panel of the storage unit looks like it's barely managing to stay shut. Could that be what that bang was earlier? Like everything else in the room, this terminal appears to be in use as an extra storage space. Even the chair is covered in stuff. Since Cassie's in operations, you'd think she'd make the most use out of her terminal than everyone else on board, but I can't see how she uses it like this. I think that's like everything. Next time I'll keep my wits about me for any inadvertent booby traps before I come in. Anything we can use? I'm a little scared to like click on this. Maybe we should just head back out. We'll talk to Cassandra first. So, how are you finding the Gundog so far? Enjoying the tour? The ship's pretty much the same as every other one I've ever been stationed on. The tour is first class though. Maybe if working in naval operations doesn't work out, you could start your own business as a tour guide back on Europa Colony. You think so? Definitely. You seem to have all the insider knowledge already, and you've only been stationed here a few days. Imagine all the insider knowledge you could share about Europa Colony. Yeah, you're right. And over here we have the statue of the workers who built this colony. If you sneak around the back, you can get in the plinth and hide from the colony's security if they catch you and your friends hanging out in the park after it's shut. Then again, you don't think that's the kind of thing people would want to know? Maybe a bit more about the workers first. Anyway. How are you finding Gundog so far? How do you feel about being transferred? What do you want to do when you've got some shore leave? I feel like this is the one should be most excited to talk about. So now that we're on the same ship, our shore leave will line up. Do you have anywhere you want to go? Anything you want to do? I hadn't thought about it. I guess this means that we'll be able to go on a lot more dates now. Oh, I know! Did you hear about that new colony they've added to the Europa cluster? It's got an ultra-efficient water handling plant, and the planners have included a water park! We should go as soon as it opens! A water park? What's that? You've never heard of a water park? Never. They're one of the coolest new features on the new colonies they're building. They're like lots of big swimming pools with slides and rivers and all sorts. All the e-magazines are saying they're going to be the coolest things to do on the colonies once they're open. Pools and slides into pools? But like, really exciting. Huh, okay. I guess when we're next docked, I'll see if I can book us some tickets. Awesome! How are you finding the Gundog so far? So you've been on the ship a few days now. How are you finding it? Well, it's not too bad. Obviously, it's not like being stationed on the Reliant. It's a whole lot smaller and there's way less people. But then there's also a lot less to do, so you get much more free time. Captain Buttermuse is pretty lax compared to Captain Singh. But then I get the impression that this whole crew is a bunch of burnouts. Except for us! Except for us! I obviously didn't mean that about you. Oh no. Yeah, this crew was put together kind of at last minute, so it makes sense that we're kind of the dregs. Apart from us. Cassie used the contact she has in resources to get us assigned to the same ship as her, breaking like a whole bunch of regulations. How do you feel about being transferred from the Reliant? So, about your transfer from the Reliant... I know, we don't need to have this conversation. I've already had it from Captain Singh in my dismissal and from one of the senior resource officers. You're wasting your potential. You would make an excellent captain if you took your duties seriously. Your academy scores were excellent. I wasn't gonna give you the speech. One of the only good things about not having parents is that I don't have to hear it from them too. Hey, Cassie. It's the absolute worst hearing it from you because I know that out of everyone, you're probably the only person that really cares. I wasn't going to give you the big speech about it. I figured you'd already had it from everyone else. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I figured you were feeling worse than you later on. It's gonna be okay, you know? A ship like this isn't the worst place to be for a while. And if things work out okay, you can always put in for a transfer back to a bigger ship. The JCF is still building up its navy, so there'll be loads of opportunities. And if that doesn't work out, there's still your career as a tour guide back on Europa. Yeah, you know it. I'd probably make a better tour guide than a ship operator anyway. I think you'd be great at whatever you decide to do, and whatever that is, I'll be here to support you through it. Cassie? Ah, you're so cheesy sometimes. Hey! Ah, come here! Cute. I love that we have like a established relationship already. I don't really like it when games like get like even like movies and like books, basically any story, if they like kind of throw in like a romantic interest and like sexual tension and stuff, like just because it feels like every story should have one, it really annoys me. I like the setting so far. I like that we're in an established relationship. I like that we have history. I like that we can be open about our feelings to each other, at least right now we can. And I really like the hard sci-fi nature of like the world building. It's a fantastic game. Alright, let's see. Let's leave and continue exploring the rest of the ship. I guess we'll be going to the captain's quarters. I don't know if we can even get in there, but the captain's quarters sits at the end of the corridor, differentiated from the other doors in the corridor by the small insignia that sits above the nameplate. Like the others in the corridor, it displays the occupant's name, in this case, Captain Maris Buttermuse. Even in your role as security officer, there are a few rooms on the ship that you don't have access to. The captain's quarters is one of them. There's nothing for you here right now, so you turn back. Alright, then we'll go and check out fire control. There's more! Moving beyond the mess hall and the hangar access, the two of you continue to the furthest end of the four-side thoroughfare. The door at the very end of the corridor is shut, the words Fire Control painted on it in large stenciled letters. Cassandra swipes her keycard through the reader by the door before turning to you. So, this is Fire Control. The gunner is probably here, but you'll see. That's pretty cryptic. Cool! As you follow Cassandra through the doorway, your eyes take a moment to adjust as the strip lighting that illuminates the rest of the ship is now conspicuously absent. Instead, the entire room is lit by the phosphorescent glow of an alcove full of screens and readouts. Looking at the screens, each one seems to not be showing much more than a few specks on a black background. From experience, though, You know that what you're looking at is a live feed from cameras all over the ship's exterior. In the center of the alcove, facing away from you, is a seat like the ones on the bridge. From this angle, it's impossible to tell if there's anyone in it, but you notice a tinny rhythmic hiss coming from it. So anyway, all of the ship's weapon systems are controlled from here. These screens will give the gunner a panoramic view of... Is the gunner here right now? You look over Cassandra's shoulder at the back of the seat. You swear you see a flicker of movement, but you can't be sure it's not just the flash of the readout reflecting off a surface. Oh, yeah, Dylan. Yeah, he's here. Should we say hello? Well, normally I would, but... Cassandra leans back slowly, as if trying to surreptitiously sneak a peek at what's on the other side of the chair without it noticing her. She quickly turns back to you after a moment's pause. He just looks so in the zone, you know? Seems like a shame to interrupt him. Interrupt what? Cassandra leans back again, and after a moment quietly gestures for you to come and take a look. Sat in the chair is a man who looks a little bit older than you. His eyes are closed and his face are a picture of absolute serenity. Over his ears is possibly the single largest pair of headphones you've ever seen in your entire life. As he sits there, oblivious to your presence, his right leg bounces up and down and his wrists flick constantly. You wonder for a moment if he's okay, before spying a cassette player poking out of his jacket pocket. You realize that the hiss you hear is the slightest whisper of the music that he's listening to escaping from those substantial headphones. Is this okay? Should he be a bit more attentive? Don't worry, it's fine. He's not even on duty. Yeah, but what if there's an alert? Let's find out! Oh my god, Cassie, what are you about to do? Cassandra moves over to a panel just before the monitor-laden alcove, takes the receiver off the wall, and enters a few numbers into the keyboard. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, it's Cassie. Can we test the alert system in fire control? No, I know it's not scheduled. It's a spot check. Yeah, random testing, you know. Chief's orders. Of course she asked. Why would I be asking for a spot check of the alert in the fire control if Chief didn't ask? You're darling. Thanks. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Loud! In an instant, you see the figure in the chair bolt upright, yank his headphones off, and lay his hands on the fire control systems, his head snapping back and forth as he rapidly surveys the wall of monitors. False alarm? Hey Dylan, don't mind us. We just had to do a spot check on the alarm system. Chief's orders. Oh, hey Quinn, no problem. Who's this? Lieutenant Silfrin is ship security. Oh hey, Warrant Officer Dylan Dees, gunner. Welcome aboard. Thanks. Well, let me know if you guys need anything. That alert totally got in the way of an awesome solo, so I'm gonna rewind and pick up where I left off. Good to meet you. Cool characters so far. Can I be bothered looking at any of this? I'm not sure if I can. Let's move out. Hangar. As the two of you head down the four-side thoroughfare and away from the crew quarters, Cassie stops by a double-sized doorway and runs her keycard through the reader next to it. Watch your step, she instructs, tapping her knuckles on a large warning sign next to the door that says low gravity zone. Once the door opens, she heads through and you follow her into a wide stairwell. It only takes 2 sets of steps before you can feel yourself grow lighter. By the time you reach the doorway at the bottom, you're almost floating. Stepping into the hangar and onto the catwalk is the first thing that strikes you. Are the profiles of the 2 armored frames stood as if on guard, facing into the main area of the hangar. Although you fully expected to see them in here, every Jovian ship features at least a few. The sight of the armored frame stirs uncomfortable memories in you, and you inadvertently grit your teeth and squeeze the handrail that you gripped tightly. This is a flashback. Yeah, we have some flashback. There's some trauma. We got stuck in the hangar in our frame while the rest of our squad got like annihilated. So it is just a sheer luck that we're still alive. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's just a change in gravity level. Left me a little queasy. I know how you feel. I was late for a hangar audit once and rushed straight down after a big lunch. I was moving so fast that the gravity shift, my stomach contents couldn't keep up. Oh no, gross. That gives me some Famicom Detective Clubs in space. I'm not familiar with Famicom stuff. Tell me about it. I did everything I could to keep my mouth shut. You know the rule for low gravity zones. What you spew is left up to you. I wasn't going to be late and be on cleanup duty. Speaking of duties, shouldn't there be someone around here? Dalton should be around here somewhere. If you're feeling funny, stay here for a moment and I'll go see if I can find him. Sure. You watch as, despite the 15-meter difference between the catwalk and the hangar floor, Cassie nonchalantly places her two hands on the handrail and deftly bolts over it into the emptiness. Thanks to the low gravity, she doesn't fall, but instead kicks off the railing, propelling herself through the air. As Cassandra drifts off, it seems like a good way to get stuck. As Cassandra drifts off, eventually catching onto one of the armored frame's legs and using it to swing herself around to float in a different direction, you place your elbow on the railing and your head in your hand. You turn your attention back to the stoic features on the armored frame's heads and sigh deeply. Your attention is caught by the cockpit hatch on one of the frames being half open. Looking around, you see everything as you'd expect. Armored frame weapon racks, storage containers, various equipment, all of it restrained appropriately and fastidiously arranged. The cockpit hatch is the only thing that breaks that pattern. It's weird, I couldn't find him anywhere. I know it's definitely his shift right now, so he should be around here. Looking past Cassandra at the armored frame with the ajar cockpit hatch, a thought strikes you. I think I might have an idea. Follow me. You carry out the same vaulting maneuver that Cassie had performed and kick off towards the huge machine's cockpit. Once close enough, you grab a hold of the arm and pull yourself up towards the open hatch. A few seconds later, Cassie appears beside you, and you both notice the sound of gentle snoring coming from within the cockpit. Well, Lieutenant Commander, I think this is an operations issue, so I'll let you handle it. Leaving the discipline up to me again, huh? Cassandra nimbly clambers up the armored frame, positioning herself right above the cockpit. Bracing herself on the machine's chest, she brings her heel down sharply and repeatedly on the armor. Cadet Grange, attention! Have us inside, friend. We're a lieutenant now. It's been I can't remember how many years, but it's been like a number of years since the opening scene. We're stationed with a girlfriend on a new ship. And yeah, we're a security officer. We're just currently taking a tour of the ship. You hear a muffled scream from within the cockpit, followed by a dull thud, a string of muttered cursing, and then finally a figure emerges from the cockpit. Ah, ma'am! I was just checking the calibrations! The calibrations on the AF! Got some feedback that... Oh, it's just you, Commander Quinn. Excuse me? Just? Is that how you address a superior officer, cadet? Oh, ma'am! No, ma'am! I was not expecting to see you in the hangar, ma'am! Okay, you can tone it down a bit, Dalton. Oh, yes, ma'am. Good enough, I suppose. Anyway, cadet, this is Lieutenant Friend, ship's security officer. Oh, ma'am, Cadet Dalton Grange, junior engineer. Good to meet you, cadet. Looks like they got you working hard. Looks like. Oh, no, ma'am. Well, that is, yes, ma'am, but not so hard I'm falling asleep. No, ma'am, I was just recalibrating the sensor array on the... Take it easy, cadet. We've all taken a nap in the cockpit in our lives. Well... Of course, we never took cockpit naps with the chief giving us our orders, so you probably need to get back on with whatever you were doing, huh? Ah, I totally forgot! She's gonna kill me! Good kid, right? I feel sorry for him already. I'm just gonna move out. Let's go to... We still haven't been to the mess hall. And here we have the highlight of this entire tour, the mess hall. Cassandra's face is radiating happiness as she gestures through the double doorway that you've stood by into the mess hall. Looking inside, you see a canteen like any other. Tables, chairs, vending machines, it's all there. This is the highlight? It looks like a pretty standard mess hall to me. You bet! Do you know why? Tell me. Because they've got both of the different kinds of vending machines! The red one that stocks the spicy potato chips and the white one that has all the different chocolate bars. Yeah, the mess hall, 2 vending machines, yeah. It looks like they have some sort of like actual like food dispensing thing over behind her. But there's like, yeah, vending machines for like snacks. Wow, so that's all bases covered, huh? They've got all the fundamental food groups. I'm not sure... Hey, Quinn! A rough voice calls out from further in. You hadn't noticed them previously because of Cassandra's enthusiastic presentation of the vending machines, but someone sat in the far corner stands up, drops a half-smoked cigarette. Why are you smoking in a spaceship? I guess it's a 90s like style game, so that makes sense, but come on! Drops a half-smoked cigarette into a coffee cup and strides over. What's going on, Quinn? Who's this? Lieutenant Rumney, were you just smoking in the mess hall? Thank you, Cassie. Ah, take it easy, Quinn. I was sat right by the extractor vent for the meal vendor. No harm, no foul. That's not the point. The extra strain on the air scrubbers from the cigarette. Yeah. So anyway, who's this hottie? Well, cat's got her tongue. Name's Haru. Haru Rumney. How about you, good looking? Oh, Lieutenant Silfrin, ship security. Silfrin? No way, really? Yes, last time I checked. Well, alright. Good to know. That's all for me, friend. You know where my quarters are, right? Yeah, we do. Ah, nice. Catch you later. What was that all about? Cassie? You know where their room is, do you? I mean, I do. It's near mine. I didn't... That's not what... Their room is right by mine! Yeah, let's check out like the food thingy. Standard food vendor unit installed in all JCF ships. It's half robotic chef, half vending machine. You select what you want and it prepares it for you. I want one of these in my house. The ingredients are almost all long-life synthetic reproductions, but it's pretty convincing. When you're done, you can slot the plate back in for cleaning. I want one. Why would you ruin a perfectly good cigarette by dropping it in some coffee? Yo, they do that a lot in like movies and TV shows and stuff. Welcome back, SB. Hope you're doing well. Looks like I missed a lot, honestly. Mostly just a tour of the ship. We've just kind of been going around looking at the facilities and meeting the characters, but I don't think there's been any actual plot development so far, so I don't think you've really missed anything. Yeah, let's take a look at the coffee. Putting out your half-smoked cigarette in your half-drunk coffee? Pretty gross. I don't know why smoking on the ship hasn't been banned yet. Yeah, how is it not banned? What the hell? Also, like, put it away! Don't just leave it there, frickin' pilots. Alright, let's move out. Oh, Cassie, before we go, do you want something from the vending machine? Chocolate? Chips? Soda? Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do, Lieutenant. I promise I didn't get what Haru was saying about their room. Okay, but it's gonna be a chocolate bar. Okay, sure. Wait, 2 chocolate bars. Sure. Wait, 3! I wouldn't want a synthetic food. I'd be curious to at least try it. The plot is, you know where her room is. Wink wonk. Wait, I have a winking. Wink wink. Yeah, oh crap, what was I gonna say? I like that Haru is like a they them. They're like a non-binary character or something. And they look quite androgynous. Like it's really cool. I love the character design. And they're kind of hot. Alright, let's move to I think we've looked at everything and we just need to go to the bridge now, right? Oh, we haven't been to the sickbay. The elevator doors hiss open, and you step out into a wide open room. What's the point of vending machines in a spaceship? That was the mess hall. Like, that was like the cafeteria. That's where you eat. I guess it's because they're not, like, giving away the snacks for free. Like, you probably have to pay for them with using credits or something. I don't know. Pass. Elevator doors hiss open, and you both step out into the wide open room. You're immediately struck by the glare of the high-powered lights that are stemmed to the ceiling, and just as you regain your vision, the powerful aroma of clinical disinfectant burns at your nostrils. Looking around, you see the standard features of a sickbay. A set of beds that extrude from the wall on one side, and a large gallery window set into the wall on the other, indicating the presence of a surgery wing. For eye and range X, print X chocolate pies. Yeah. The walls are lined with cupboards and cabinets containing medical supplies, and various devices sit on countertops. In the middle of the room is a large desk that's set to face the entrance. On the side closest to you are the 2 chairs, and on the other sits a figure that you almost mistake for a piece of medical equipment until they look up. Miss Quinn, excellent timing. I just finished the analysis of your... Hey doc, don't worry about that right now. I'm giving a tour to a new security officer. Very good, Miss Quinn. Hello, Lieutenant Friend. I'm the ship's doctor, Saphir Rosarium. I've reviewed your file already, so please feel free to stop by with any complaints. But since you're here, Miss Quinn, I'd really like to talk about your gastro... Honestly, Doctor, it's fine. We can talk about it. Intestinal... Doctor, later! Distress. She has the poops. Probably fighting a lot, too. Okay, Doctor, a moment, please. Honey, if you could just give me a few minutes with the doctor? Yeah, no problem. Cassandra grabs the doctor by his sleeves and drags him over to the surgery. Oh my god, I'm mixing up this whole sentence. Cassandra grabs the doctor by his sleeve and drags him over to the surgery wing, yanking him through behind her. Once the door closes, you can't hear them, but you can still see the two through the gallery window. You decide to turn your attention away and examine a nearby poster on space illnesses. Yes, thank you, Doctor. I understand. So that includes any synthetic meats or carbohydrates. Understood! But as I've explained to you, I've got a full supply of NutriShake powders that should serve as a balanced replacement for the meals from the food vendor and should alleviate your... Doctor! Tummy troubles. This tour is moving on. Alright. I think that's everything, and we can move on to the bridge to, to talk to the captain. Captain? Yeah. Poor poop shoot. Yeah. You step away from the elevator onto the bridge, and what seems to have been a pretty quiet atmosphere turns totally silent, as the 2 women present who had previously been observing a screen turn to face you. Why is everyone in this game hot? You identify the captain almost immediately by her uniform, although you're given pause to wonder if you've misjudged, as she listlessly straightens up and heads over to you with an air of disinterest. Glasses! The other woman shoots you a look, but remains seated at her station, quickly turning away when she realizes you've caught her looking your way. You presume from her position on the bridge that she must be a member of operations like Cassandra. Oh, this must be Vanessa! This must be the Vanessa she mentioned. Lieutenant Silfrin, entering the bridge and reporting for formal assignment, you declare, throwing a sharp salute with Cassandra quickly following suit. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn, entering the bridge and accompanied of Lieutenant Friend. You're taken aback slightly as you realize that you've hardly ever seen Cassie be serious about anything, even her position. Whenever she's had to talk about her assignments, it's always been dismissive or in a joking way. You're caught so off guard that you almost miss the captain addressing you. At ease, Lieutenant Commander. You and Cassie both lower your salutes and loosen your posture slightly. There's a slight pause, which you can tell is the captain sizing you up. This informal assessment lasts a little longer than you're comfortable with, until the captain releases a heavy sigh. Welcome aboard, Lieutenant. I was just beginning to get worried that the notification that we had that you'd come aboard had been a system issue. I trust that you haven't had too hard a time finding your way to the bridge to introduce yourself. No, ma'am, I was just... You glance over to Cassandra, who is maintaining a completely straight face. We can check out anywhere you want before we head up there. Yeah, right. You fix your gaze straight ahead. This wouldn't be the first time that Cassandra's lackluster attitude had got you in trouble with higher-ups. I was just familiarizing myself with the ship in case I come up with any queries that I could field to you. Oh, is that so? Well, anything you'd like to ask? No, ma'am. Very good. Well, I'm glad you could make it, eventually. This mission is an urgent one, which is why we departed as soon as you came aboard without a formal reception. Thinking about it was unusual that there hadn't been a formal onboarding process beyond the dock staff checking your ID and guiding you onto the Gundog. You'd not realized in your rush, but now it was obvious. But it did make sense that if this was an urgent dispatch, the ship would launch as soon as all of its crew were on board. My apologies, ma'am. My transport was running late. Yes, we've been sent word. That wouldn't have anything to do with you, would it? No, ma'am. There was a breakdown on the... Anyway, Lieutenant, I'd like you to take the opportunity to formally welcome you to the JFS Gundog. My name is Captain Maris Buttermuse. I run as tight a ship as you'd expect, and I anticipate that you'll carry out your duties to the same standard. Oh, Cassie! I'm gonna kill Cassie! I am going to strangle her pretty little neck. She told us that the captain was like really laid back, like multiple times during the tour. Yes, ma'am. From experience, most onboarding procedures have involved greetings and speeches from the captain that have ranged from serious to almost ceremonial. In comparison, Captain Bartomuse's introduction was almost lethargic. Your card, Lieutenant? Yes, ma'am. The item button will activate when you're able to use items that are in your inventory. In some cases, you will need to use an item to proceed, but in others, whether you use an item or not is up to you. When possible, select the item button to open the inventory and then select the item to use it. To dismiss the inventory, select the item button again. Your card, Lieutenant? Yep, here it is. She inspects it for a moment before taking it to a control panel near the captain's chair. You remain in position, not quite at ease, but not quite at attention. You watch as she enters some commands into the console and inserts your card into a slot. There's a whirring sound, followed by a series of beeps, before your card is ejected and the captain takes it back. By selecting... Oh my god, that noise. By selecting the function button, you can now access a map. Oh yay, we get a map! Thank god! You get a map of the ship, allowing you to move from one location to another without visiting areas in between. Yay! If an event happens somewhere on the way, you will move to that location instead. Oh, cool. You can also view your current objectives and other important information. To return, select the function button again. Neat! Now we've got like everything lit up and usable over here. Cool. Do I push that now? Jovian Colony Fleet Datapad. Here's the map. Oh, wow. Okay. Current area, bridge, destination. Oh, it lights up when you hover over it. Cool. Neat. Miss Hall, Fire Control, Hangar. Okay, cool. With this, Lieutenant Friend, you now have access to all areas and authorities befitting the ship's security detail. Your responsibilities begin with immediate effect. Thank you, ma'am. You're also now authorized to take an appropriate electroshock weapon from the armory. If you have any further questions, then you know where to find me. Dismissed. Alright, we met the captain. Sounds like we should go to, task. Oh, neat. Yeah, we have like a to-do list. Oh, we need to introduce yourself to Vanessa. Let's do that. We'll introduce ourselves, go to the armory and collect our sidearm, and then I might call it a stream. Cool. And then we have like a little glossary thing of what like everything is. Neat. This game is cool. Okay, let's see. Let's talk to Vanessa. Hi Red, thanks for the lurk. Enjoy. Excuse me, Lieutenant. I'm currently on duty, so I would appreciate it if you did not disturb me. Lieutenant Lord, Lieutenant Friend is the ship's head of security. Since I'm here, you can take the time to introduce yourself formally. Great, I've got this. See you in 5. So you're the security officer that Cassandra's been going on about. That's right, Lieutenant Selfrin. Pleased to meet you. Well, I'm Vanessa Lord. I serve on the bridge as part of operations. Cassandra's told me a lot about you. Is that right? What kind of... I'm disappointed that you're nowhere near as attractive as she made you out to be. I love Vanessa! Oh, is that right? I thought it was too good to be true that some dashing officer would be transferred here at the last moment. Instead, we've just got another lunk. Oh well, how was it you even got transferred here on such short notice? I was looking over your records earlier and you were mid-assignment on the Duke, why would they transfer you instead of... Well, hey, look at the time. I think your break's over. Lieutenant Commander Quinn, I think Vanessa needs to get back to her station. Yeah, she's, she got a little bit panicky about that because Cassandra broke a bunch of regulations to have us transferred here, so she doesn't really want Vanessa looking into that. Of course, I hope this is the start of a productive working relationship between the two of you. Vanessa, I'll catch up with you later, okay? Alright, and then we'll move to... function? Map. Where's the armory? Here. Move to the armory, yes. You swipe your keycard through the card reader sent to the terminal by the armory's door. There's a slight delay, but quickly enough the terminal flashes the message, "Access granted," and the door slides open. The first thing you notice about the armory is that the benches and lockers remind you of the changing rooms from the training center back at the military academy on Europa Colony. As you walk past them, you take a closer look and realize that they're the same kind of benches used on the larger ships that you've been stationed on, the ones with sports facilities and changing rooms on board. Instead of sports clothing and equipment, these lockers are filled with a selection of combat gear, from body armor to electroshock weapons to a variety of small and light weapons. You know, this is the first time I've ever actually been inside a ship's armory. That's not really surprising, it's only the security detail that would have access. Even in a situation where the ship's expecting to encounter a boarding party, it's security's responsibility to distribute weaponry to the crew in advance. It's to ensure that there's no panic and that the crew don't get a hold of weaponry they're not trained to use. Huh. That's standard regulation, you should know that. Well, all I remember from my firearm training was when I dropped my electroshock weapon and accidentally zapped one of the other girls from operations. Our trainer made me use a hand-cranked battery charger to recharge all the power packs as punishment. That must have taken forever. You bet, but you should have seen my gun show. You should have seen my gun show afterwards. Pew pew! Which reminds me, the captain said I was authorized to... Oh wait, wrong voice. Which reminds me, the captain said I was authorized to collect my sidearm. I should get it while I'm here. Yeah, can I just like use this? Accessing a weapons locker sends an automatic alert to the bridge. Even if I wanted to examine the weaponry, I wouldn't want to set off an alarm up here without telling anyone what I was doing. But wait, where's the electroshock weapons then? This locker contains a variety of small arms and light weapons. They're only for use against external hostile forces. Okay, so this is the wrong locker. Even then, their stopping power is relatively low because of dangers of using live rounds inside the ships. So happy they covered that. I'm very happy with the level of, like, logic and world building in this game. It annoys me so much when people like use guns in ships on movies. This locker contains electroshock weapons. Oh, this is the one we need. They're non-lethal and intended for use for crew control in case of a mutiny or violence that breaks out for some other reason. This is the weapons locker with electroshock weapons in. I'm authorized to take one small weapon from here as part of my role as security officer. This one will do. You got an electroshock gun. What's that? That's just a standard issue duty weapon for my role as security officer. It fires a barbed projectile that contains a miniature battery. It's not lethal, but more than enough to stop someone in their tracks. I see. Absolutely not. Oh, come on! She wanted to play with them. I would too. Alright, what does it say now in our tasks? We've done like everything, right? Cool. I suspect something will trigger as soon as we get out of this room. So I'm gonna leave it here for today's stream, and let's sneak off and see if we can find someone to raid. Thanks for hanging out, guys. This is a really cool game. Phil, I don't know if you're still here. If you can hear me, thank you so much for picking this game. I'm really enjoying it. I'll probably play the entire thing. I've been trying not to play like multiple visual novels at the same time. But I might have to make an exception for this one because I think AI Somnium Files is gonna take too long to finish, but I want to keep going with Gundog. Anyway, who's online? Oh, Monday's streaming. What? Purgatory. Oh, that looks cute. Oh, it's full of puns. Oh man, we have to go to Monday, right? She's playing a punny game. Let me just take a quick scan. Yeah, let's go raid Monday. Perfect. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out. That is it from me. I vote you raid Sylphrin. I don't think I can. Wait, let me type raid Sylphrin. Failed to start a raid. A channel cannot raid itself. Damn it. She's horrible and deserves more hate. Yeah, we should like hate raid her. You're right. Anyway, thanks for being here, you guys. You guys are great. My throat is getting sore. I'm gonna stop and have some tea and probably have some lunch and then take a nap. Thanks for nothing, YouTube Bob. We're about to raid Monday. Please come and hang out with us if you can. She's playing a very punny game. Go take care of yourself, thank you. YouTube Bob. I hope work's going alright. You've finished work by now, right? Are you still going? Anyway, that's it from me for the week. Have a good weekend, and I'll probably see you guys on Monday? Yeah, Monday. All of next week I'm at home by myself, so I don't have to worry about Lily pickups and drop-offs and stuff. But I'm not sure how it'll impact my streaming. Oh yeah, we're raiding Monday now. Duh, you're so right, Bob. I'd like to stream more often and longer, but like I'm not sure if I physically can, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Geez, Sil, you just did. I know. What can I say? I've got like goldfish memory, right? 72-hour stream. Okay, I definitely cannot do that. Alright, thanks for hanging out. Have a lovely evening. Happy time zone. Thanks, Bob. Don't forget about the last redeem. You can unlock emotes, all that good stuff. Hopefully we'll pick up more of this game next week if I can find a space for it on the slots, unlike the time slots. So yeah, catch you guys next week. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks for hanging out. This game is awesome. I fully recommend it if you're a sci-fi fan, especially a hard sci-fi fan. I very, very much appreciated all the thought that went into the world building on this one. And the pixel art is just so cool. This is just a very cool game. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Like I said, I have a sore throat. Yeah, cheese you later, bag smell. What? Yeah, unlock emotes, Discord, streams next week. Yeah, that's everything. Get the last redeem if you can. Remember to copy the raid message, and I'll catch you guys over on Monday's stream. Stay safe, everyone. Stay sane and stay silly, and I'll see you all later. Remember to hydrate. Thanks for that outro. Stay fresh, cheese bags.